at the world today, you will be really surprised to see the maximum problems are due to people are really getting disoriented. Most of us really don't know what exactly is the aim of our life, where we are heading to, where exactly we want to go, what exactly we are really struggling for. Every time we are really getting challenged and we are really searching for that peace. No matter how much we have achieved or what we are going to achieve, but we really search for that happiness, that peace, that satisfaction, and perhaps we keep on looking for that through our entire life, but still we couldn't get it. Yes, today in this video I'm going to discuss about the real secret of our peace, our wellness and happiness. Most of us who are really looking for this answer are going to get a logical answer to your questions. And I'm sure if you listen to this video carefully, you will understand that wellness and peace are both interconnected, and this leads to the inner happiness. And if you really listen to this video today, I'm sure you will really find a new purpose, a new meaning of living. Welcome you once again. I'm Pramankud Das. I'm an international trainer and motivator. I welcome you to my PMA channel. Those who are watching this channel for the first time, let me tell you, this is a channel where you can find all these interesting and motivational topics. So if you have really still not subscribed my channel, go to that subscribe button and click on that, and of course click the bell button so that every time you get notified with this type of interesting and motivational videos. So let's not waste time and get into the topic. We actually need to understand that what exactly are the secrets of our wellness and inner happiness. Often we see people give reasons that you have to be spiritual in order to be happy. Now this is really a million-dollar question. People really argue about being spiritual or religious. Some say that you have to be religious in order to become spiritual, and the others say that I'm an atheist, so why should I become spiritual? So now let us answer this question, that does it mean that you have to be atheist to become a spiritual? Or someone who is an atheist, who doesn't believe in God, shouldn't consider himself to be a spiritual? Actually, we have to understand that what spirituality is beyond religion. Being spiritual is not about being atheist or theist. Because if you see literally, an atheist is one who say that God doesn't exist. So I don't think I really have to believe in that. Everything is being considered by his scientific explanation and logic. So of course you can say he's not spiritual. But a person who believes in God, a theist, is equally not spiritual, because he also doesn't know that really God exists, but he believes in something. And still he doubts the fact that God is really existing or not. So in either of the cases, either atheist or a theist, none of them can be considered as spiritual. If you really want to understand the meaning of spiritual, you have to understand it is a cause which is bigger than life. It is a purpose which is bigger than our existence. And the moment we realize the need for which we are existing, we can get that realization of spirituality. So today I'm going to explain that how exactly we can get the realization, that moment of spiritual feeling. It is said that we are all walking this life just like a materialistic world. We really don't know how long we have to walk, but we really know that we are living for some reason. We're walking this path, this journey of life, for certain objectives. But have we ever tried to wonder that how we are really connected with ourselves and the reason for why we exist And the moment we try to find answer to all these questions, we are really on the step of going towards understanding the world of spirituality. Think for a while, if you are not yourself and you are just watching yourself from outside yourself, and then you are just understanding that how you are functioning, that is perhaps the feeling from where you can see you are perhaps doing things in a very mechanical fashion. You are doing things as if you have been programmed to do those things. But what exactly are the basis of doing all these objectives? If you really try to understand, these are all interconnected with the ultimate destiny towards which a man is heading to. We are like a vessel. If you see, we are basically the carrier of certain information to the next generation, and the cycle goes on. But somewhere we miss our objective. Are we really doing justice to ourselves? Are we really living the cause for which we are born? If not, why? So this is what exactly we have to understand and discuss. Today, most of us, when we talk about getting the spiritual feeling, often we try to give example of some kind of transcendence when we are moving from this materialistic world to an eternal world where we get connected to a heavenly feeling, or we see some kind of imaginary image, or which sometimes science defines as illusion. But what exactly are this experience? Does this spiritual experience really exist? If you really have to understand, you must understand that our feelings and realizations are not unscientific. These are certain expressions which can only be understood when you go through that particular moment of experience. And perhaps if you go through all these examples or the experiences by the great men and women, you will find that their spiritual experiences are just a moment of realization, and that is how some claim that they have got the real existence of God, and some claim that they have seen God. But I have at least not seen, but I have got a lot of time when I've come close to spiritual experience. So from my experience, I can tell you today that spirituality is a bigger purpose than a life, which really helps us to connect with the feeling of being impersonated from this world, going higher than what exactly we are, so that we can really find these problems in this materialistic world to be very small. Every day the kind of struggles, the hustle and bustle which we go through, the challenges which we come across, all those things seem to be very timid. So take an aerial view and understand that those problems are very small for you. And perhaps you would find yourself to be really isolated, really alienated from all these problems, to a different world, to a different realm altogether, where you can understand that what exactly is really the meaning of peace and the meaning of being connected with your soul. Our mind is really very fast, and that is what we have seen, that every time we try to concentrate, we find it very difficult, because the moment we try to think on a particular topic, our mind jumps into another topic. So it is almost behaving like that naughty monkey, which is not trying to settle on one fruit. It is jumping across the tree to get different fruits. Our mind is also every time trying to change its path. But if you really try to understand, we can really control that mind. And when we can control the mind, we can control our thoughts. And that is how you can go towards the spiritual experience. So today in this video, I'm going to tell you 10 simple things which you can practice, which really can help you to develop your spiritual experience. Please don't take it wrong. Many of you who are watching this video might think that I'm telling you not to become religious, or being religious doesn't mean spiritual. I'm really not claiming like that. For that, let me give you an example. If you have ever seen a man who is walking on the rope in circus, you must have seen that he is nicely balancing to walk across the rope. But when he is walking across the rope, have you ever noticed he is holding a stick in his hand? And what he is doing with that stick? He is really not doing anything with that stick, but only holding the stick across his arm's length so that he can balance his weight and he can smoothly cross that rope without any turbulence. Similarly, in this materialistic world, religion is just like that balance, where we have too many discomforts, where we have too many disbeliefs, where we have too many confusions. Perhaps the religion is like walking like the stick, which gives you the balance to get yourself on the rope. However, it is always not necessary if you are clear with your inner thoughts, if you really have the real meaning of your identity, if you have really got a proper self-introspection, you can still be on the path. But mind it, always the first initiative has to be taken. Because as we know that whenever we open our eyes, it's always the morning. So let's understand that what exactly are those basic 10 things which we can do so that we can all get that spiritual experience in our life. The first thing we all have to ask ourselves, that when was the last time we have paid attention to our breathing? Now you might think that why we are exactly saying this? Because we all breathe. We all know that we inhale oxygen and we exhale carbon dioxide. And this is a very normal process of respiration. So what is new in that? And what do you mean by paying attention? You have to understand that when we talk about paying attention, it's actually about conscious breathing. In the ways of yoga, if I say, it is actually paying attention to your breathing, because the other name of life is breathe. So how you inhale and exhale, that is very important. And how you are paying attention to your breath, you can really regulate your mind. Because if you have seen that when you are really very aggressive, or when you're trying to become very restless and you're trying to do many things, your mind is actually getting too much anxious, and automatically your heartbeat is increasing, you are really gasping to get the breath, and suddenly you are breathless. But with that, you're really making a damage to yourself. You're really increasing your blood pressure. You're really increasing so many other problems in your body and in your mind, because we not forget that mind, body and soul runs in a perfect tandem. They are interconnected. And in order to get a wonderful balance, we first need to have a balance on our breathing. So first of all, start paying attention to every time you breathe. Many of us have forgotten to take a pause and take a deep breath with the full of our heart. And perhaps a deep breath can give you a fresh meaning, a fresh start to your day, or perhaps it will help you to unwind yourself from all the complications. So start paying attention to your breath. That is the first tip to become spiritual. The second thing, which we often don't do, is we all are very much ambitious. We all want to live in future, and that is why we are very futuristic in nature. But think for a while, do we know what exactly is waiting for us in the future? For example, today the world is badly stricken down by coronavirus. During this time last year, do anyone really know about coronavirus? Have anyone discussed about this pandemic? Do we really know the kind of uncertainty which you're going to face? So there are many questions which are still not known to us or which always remains unknown. So why really waste our time just for thinking something which is really not known to us? So let us start living in present. And that is why someone has said that history is a mystery. So if you really live in history and keep wondering that what you have lost in your past and what you have not done in your past, you will always have some grievances, some worries, some anxieties. But if you really want to get rid of those things, start living in present. At the same time, if you think too much on future, you will have some unknown anxieties and some fear. And perhaps you'll always be entangled by them. So it is better that you start thinking about your present. Live the present moment. Most of the time I've seen people are thinking too much about the future, and in that they really forget to give value to what they have with them. They forget the value of relationship. They think what exactly is going to happen after some time, but they really forget that the people who are with them, that the team who is working with them, and the moment they are going through, that is really very precious for them. So if you really forget to live your present, how you think of prospering in your future? Think about it. Start living in your present. That is the second tip to become spiritual. The third thing which I'm going to tell you is, you have to meditate. Now you may ask me that what is new about that? If you really understand, the first tip which I give you is pay attention to your breathing. In the word of yoga or Sanskrit we call as pranayam, like welcoming the prana. And prana is also known as the air or the breath. So once we have the control on our breath, we know how to balance our breathing. We really know how to exactly control our mind. Sometime when we have to unwind ourselves, we must have to become conscious about our breathing. And when we can hold a balance on our breathing, our mind will gradually settle down. Meditation is one of the very preliminary way of the yoga which we have ever known. But if you really can meditate, if you can settle your mind, if you can unwind yourself from all the complications, all the pressures, you will feel so light and peaceful. And if you can find some time in a day when you can just slowly take a deep breath and release the breath for a while. And if you can practice it regularly for 15 to 20 minutes a day, you will find a lot of changes in yourself. And that is how you can start controlling your mind, and then you can see your actions are also finding the reflection of that. And the fourth thing which I'm going to tell you is, start doing some exercises early in the morning. Our ancestors had the habit of seeing the sunrise, doing Surya Pranam, going and praying the sun god, or giving offerings to the god in the early time of the dawn. But in this modern world, people hardly have time for all these things. They hardly really get to see the sunrise. But if you really understand the meaning of all these things, you will see that it has a scientific reason. We must understand that this body which we have got we have borrowed from the Mother Nature. It is formed of the 5 elements. And if we really cannot connect our body with the nature, so that's why it is very important. Catch the early hours of the morning, catch the dawn hours when you should find some time to do exercise. And if you can do that, your body will find refreshed. Try to get that first ray of sunlight on your body. Try to get yourself soaked into that morning air. If you really every day experience this thing, you will see your mind, body and soul is wonderfully getting interconnected. And that is how you start getting the spiritual experiences. And the fifth thing which I'm going to tell you is very important when you can really start getting connected with your inner self. Most of the time, we really have a lot of time to listen to various music, a lot of important information, I could say. But how much of those information are really getting absorbed in our mind? So start spending some time when you can listen probably to some chants or spiritual music, or probably certain composition which can really give you a peaceful feeling, an aura of bliss. And that is what will really connect with yourself. Try to find out that particular tune or that spiritual moment. Sometimes the chirping of the bird in the morning can really remind you of those childhood days, the days which you have left long back, but perhaps those are very close to your heart. And once again, you can rejuvenate your soul. Once again, you can restore your lost identity. And if you can do that, you will get one step closer to become spiritual. And the next thing which I'm going to tell you, the sixth thing which is very important, is how you really can find the solace and the purpose of your life. And that is by understanding how you can get a chance to help people. Yes, the sixth point which is very important is how you can help people. Because many a times you will see that your self-esteem can really be developed when you can help someone who is in need, who is more poorer than you. And if you can do that, you immediately get that emotional strength. And that is really required for you to regain your confidence. If you can do that, I'm sure you'll feel more satisfied. You will not really understand if you have never helped anyone. But if you have helped somebody, you will see that there is a great satisfaction in helping people. You will get immediately a lot of mental bliss, mental satisfaction, which is in caring and helping people. And finally, I will tell you the seventh point, you should drink a lot of water. Yes, these days we always drink a lot of soft drinks, a lot of hard drinks, but we forget to drink water. Because if you drink water, it will keep your body hydrated. It will help you to detoxify your body. It will take out all the toxins of your body. So drink plenty of water in a day. If you are an adult, you should drink at least 6 to 7 liters of water minimum, so that you can keep your body hydrated. And if you are young, at least 4 liters is must. But remember that you should drink in equal quantities throughout the day. And finally, the eighth point, which is really very important, is you must understand that in life we come across different kind of experiences. We really witness a lot of things, but we forget to love ourselves. You have to find some time so that you could love yourself. We love our parents, we love our children, we love our friends, but do we love ourselves? If you do not love yourself, you will lose the interest of living. So find some time of loving yourself. Think about yourself, that how much you can love yourself. And the day when you really start loving yourself, you will be back on track. You'll get the purpose of living a new life. And finally, to remind the last and the final point which I'm going to tell you is that we all have to understand that we should start forgiving people. We have a lot of grievances, lot of complaints against people. But if you can forgive, if you can excuse, you will see that you are feeling more relaxed. I know saying is easy, but doing is equally difficult. But try for a while. Think of that most wicked person in your life, or the person whom you really hate. If you could forgive him today, you'll feel more light. You'll feel more peace in your mind. Automatically, you'll get a lot of satisfaction. And if you can really do that, you are a relaxed person. Write all those bad experiences in a piece of paper and then shred it and throw it into the dustbin. Then see how you feel exactly, because those frustrations are simply gone on those papers. They're simply thrown out of your mind. And then, if you really empty that recycle bin, you'll find your mind is fresh. Just the way we refresh the recycle bin of a desktop. So with this, we come to the end of this 10 important tips for spiritual experience and spiritual living. I'm sure if you really can follow these 10 important tips in your life every day, you will really start experiencing the spiritual bliss, the spiritual experience. Please go into the comments, let me know your experiences, and also share that what exactly are your thoughts on this type of topics. And if you really want me to come on some new topics so that I can come across and discuss some interesting topics which are related to positive living and wellness and happy living. Because we often search for happiness across us. We search everywhere, but we forget that the real happiness lies within ourselves. So it's time, my friends, that we all start identifying that happiness lies within us. Thank you so much. Stay well, stay positive. I'll be back once again for a similar video once again in this channel. Take care. Bye-bye.